Hello and welcome to the Decidueye guide that you have been looking for. This is going to be very quick, very sudden. I'm going to go through things as fast as possible to not drag on the video, so let's get started. In the current meta, at this exact time, in the current patch, as of February 22nd of 2022, it's a great day by the way, fantastic. I think his most consistent setup and build is actually Razor, but Shadow Sneak. This move, I feel like, is completely broken, and if it ever gets buffed at all with what it does, reducing defenses by a large percentage, if it ever gives him more movement speed on top of what it does now, it's not really much. This character is going to be a problem. Now, lots of people don't think that Decidueye is good at all. The tier list definitely does not show that very well. He's in D tier. D for Decidueye. With Kramer, Crustle, and Trevenant. Now, I have lists going on of matchup charts, and I think his held items. I've played this character quite a lot. The most important thing that I don't see people do enough is abuse his passive. 20% damage to distant enemies. Now, this, at max basic range, will actually give him max 20%. It's about his basic range, his max basic range, in order to get the full benefit of this. And I do not see enough Decidueyes do this. You're so squishy. You see your stats here. We can actually go to this page and see them. It's full from 3000 HP to 5152, with barely any defense to boat, and even less special defense. So characters like Pikachu, Alolan, will hit him even harder than any Greninja or Cinderace will, though they hit him in different ways. Emotional damage. His passive, always have this pre-stacked before fight. If you have to, when you're hitting minions, try to drag the minion along, so that way you can keep your passive up as long as possible. If you feel like a fight's going to break out, see if there's any minions you can pre-stack on. You need this up in order for stuff like Razor Leaf to really hurt people. Where he shines is Razor Leaf having multiple hits, changing his basic attacks, giving him an attack stim and attack boost. Combined with not too bad attack stat. I believe Cinderace beats him out a little bit. Greninja beats him out a little bit in attack. But the scaling on this is very good. Especially since level 11 gives him an extra muscle band effect. That helps him out a lot. So your game plan is mostly to be using Shadow Sneak to hit somebody. Make sure their defenses are reduced. It helps you. It also helps the team out for any physical attackers. Maybe there's like a Serena, Lucario. Lucario loves enemy with Shadow Sneak because he will just do ridiculous damage with Power Punch or extreme speed hits. His ult is very debatable. 30% more damage if target's below 50% health. That's very important to know. Basically is Spirit Shackle, but just a better version of it. One thing that people need to do is actually cancel his ult. You can cancel it right away. You can let it rock a little bit. But this can be used to bait very well. The cooldown is pretty bad. The damage is actually very good, but hitting all the hits is the problem. Being able to master Knock Knock is what's going to make a regular Decidueye stand out from a professional Decidueye. Where you position, where you're with the team, and how well can you aim the Knock Knock in order to hit people. I've seen some Decidueye just absolutely tear through a team with a build I'm going to be showing you in a bit. Now, in terms of items, this is the current tier list, I believe. And you're going to think it's crazy. Some of these picks, at least. But muscle, scope, guaranteed on any setup. There's not really any arguing on that. Scope blends with how his Razor Leaf scaling works. Multi-hits work really well with him. And because he gets up to 30% crit rate, Scope Lens brings that to 36 when it's level 30, which you should have at level 30 if you're playing Decidueye. Just because you need all that crit scaling. You get an extra 12% crit damage on top of that. Muscle Band will give you... It won't proc on every single hit of Razor Leaf. It says every hit damage only applies once per attack, not on each of the 3 boosted curls with this. And that also same for muscle band. Pretty sure. I might be wrong on that though, so you can correct me in the comments. Now, attack weight. Apologies on that. If you heard any noise. Attack weight is probably the way to go. I've tried every item in the game practically, even leftovers. Leftovers can probably be here because at least it technically has a use, but you should never be using it. Right now, with how leftovers and how long it'd be out of combat, it's just not worth it. Before I even talk about further into why I think these items are how they are. Oh no, I screwed them all up. You need to look at his lifesteal. So level 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Remember all those if you're going to be Decidueye main. Because you get an additional 5% lifesteal at each of those levels. I'm trying to only highlight the one, but it's not working out too well. This, combined with how much damage you can deal, you can be Lucario and gain full HP off of bees. You can, in fights, position yourself, if it's like a 1v1, to Razor Leaf the primary target and some minions to lifesteal off of as a secondary target, since Razor Leaf hits 2 additional targets for half damage. Let's say you're contesting over bees and you're like level 9. Let's say you're both level 9. If you position yourself near the bees to hit the bees with the secondary hits, you press A to attack the player, and the secondary hits hit the bees, you're going to be lifestealing a ridiculous amount while doing damage to the player. That gives you a lot of survivability. Now, we talk about items and its scaling. Attack weight is crazy on him. If you can stack, even just a couple times, you see how his attack scales, it's like 5, 6. It goes up to 9, it kind of goes from there. Level 9, he has 252 attack. That's kind of the standard level to be in the mid game. You want to be level 9 by at least 6 minutes in. Ideally. Jungle roll, you'll probably be level 11 at like 5 minutes. 252 attack, if you attack the attack weight all the way, that's plus 72. That's like 300 and... I don't want to do math right now, but along with the base stats you get of attack weight, it's almost like 330 attack. That's massive when you... It's almost like a 40% attack boost for Razor Leaf, which is ridiculous. Yes, you have to stack it all the way, but there's a lot of situations where your jungler will gank, be on the tower, you'll kill them. However, you know, Deci doesn't do bad damage. He just has bad survivability. You combine it with like a Cinder jungle. I play top lane Deci, I play jungle Deci. There's going to be a situation where you're probably going to be able to score sometimes. And even getting 1 or 2 scores will boost your damage by 10% at a lot of levels. So it's very important to know how attack weight scales with them extremely well. I've tried Buddy Barrier. It's a great item, but honestly, it doesn't save me much from a lot of team fights. The best use for that Buddy Barrier is actually to give it to someone else. Because that additional shield you get probably won't save your life at all. You have so little HP that you're still going to get popped by a lot of things. It's like 1 Cinderace basic for the Buddy Barrier that Deci gets. But it's best to give to a teammate. So in a full team situation, you're probably going to be rocking Buddy Barrier if you're in like a 5-stack. Eos Cookie. It is worse than Buddy Barrier, because you can give Buddy Barrier to a teammate. But I have tested this item a lot. And because of how his lifesteal works, and you get more HP, you have more HP to lifesteal. You can't lifesteal shields, but you can lifesteal health. Now apart from that focus, I don't think it's very good on them. If you can make it work, go right ahead. But you get one shot so much, or one comboed so much, that focus really doesn't even... When it procs, you just die. Energy Amp. I probably have the most games played with Energy Amp, because I've really tried to make it work. Because if you cannot stack with attack weight, this goes here. 100%. This goes here. In an A tier. But if you can stack attack weight to like 3 or 4 stacks, then this is like obsolete. His ult doesn't do bad damage. you can like alt and then cancel it, and you get the 21% damage boost. So if you don't think that you can attack weight stack, run energy amp, so that way you can kind of still have the similar-ish damage. And his alt does scale well with attack, so having the attack weight stacked is actually really good. Floatstone, you have to be out of combat for too long. Just don't use it. And score shield, you don't have any dashes, so even if you score, the best time for it is late game, where you can get a score off that you otherwise wouldn't be able to, but literally one attack will break his score shield. So it's not really good, and without dashes, he can't just get back out and, like, score for free, basically. Now we're going to talk about his matchups. Straight to it. I made this quick matchup chart. Pokemon extremely annoying to fight, annoying either way. Desi favored, free XP. This is all in a perfectly static environment, where it's just a 1v1. No minions, no nothing. Just like a 1v1, level 9. You all have Unites. We're going to start from the bottom, actually, Garchomp. Garchomp is, for the most part, free XP. And that's a personal opinion. He's just not good. He gets out-kited very easily. With how strong the meta favors lots of held items and battle items, slow smoke, X speed, he's just not good. There's so many ways to get around his kit and how it works. His best part is his ult. And this is kind of considering ults in the environment, but once his ult's gone, Desi just kind of eats him up. Now, Desi favorite matchups, I feel like, are Cramorant, Dragonite, which is going to be probably my most debatable, controversial opinion on this tier list, and Trevenant. Trevenant's just bad, so him being able to win fights like that is because of Trevenant. Now, Cramorant, if the Cramorant goes Air Slash, Dive, it's a bit tougher, but you do out DPS him, and you have better lifesteal, so you can win that. Surf Hurricane, you just have to dodge the combo, that's all. Then he's just literally a sitting duck. Dragonite. If they go E-Speed, which no Dragonite does, I think they kinda can win if they're going Outrage, but nobody does that. Everybody plays Hyper Beam. Now, you win the DPS race. This is not considering, like, if they pre-stack before a fight. If they pre-stack, like, a good Dragonite, yeah, they'll probably go up to here. But most Dragonites I see, you'll win the auto battle. You'll lifesteal off of the Dragonite. Maybe if they go Scope Lens, they can win through sheer crits, because their Dragonite's crit rate's actually 20%, but I don't think this character can really beat Decidueye in a 1v1. I've had lots of free kills versus Dragonites that were even like a level or 2 above me, just because of how the sheer damage works with Decidueye. If you're pre-stacking before fights, if I use x-atk as my main battle item, that helps a lot. Just give you extra burst. You will win the fight and get some free XP off of Dragonite. Trevenant, do I have to say much? He's not really going to kill you. I don't see anybody go Pain Split. Pain Split will probably make him go to either way. But as it is, he's kind of... he's Trevenant. His ult's scary. If he, like, ults a couple of people on your team and then you can't really kill him. What's important to note is you cannot lifesteal off of shields. Kind of weird to be saying this late into the video, but that does make him a bit stronger with how big his shield can get. Now I'm a champ. Snorlax, Mime, Alolan, Blastoise, and Cinderace. These all go to either way for me. My champ has some good mobility in order to get out on you. He does a lot of damage. He can one-shot you. Conversely, if you can space around that, he's not very, very scary. His ult, though, you get hit by the ult, you're just straight up dead. No questions asked. Snorlax can be annoying with heavy slam, block. You know how that goes. Can push you around, CCU for the team. But in a 1v1, I mean, you're just gonna be able to heal off of him more than anything else. Mr. Mime, if it's a good Mr. Mime and they can hit their barrier combos, you'll lose literally half of your life from one confusion. And then he can kind of just run away and repeat that. This is kind of considering like no minions, but in the meanwhile you can just get some bees, or I don't know, you can find some crabs to get in the meanwhile, get some life back. But he can be very annoying to fight with how he spaces, and because the Decidueye's special defense is so poor, even at max level, that kind of bodes an issue for him. But moving on, Alolan, if they do not hit the combo, they have no mobility, kind of like Cramorant. But I feel like this character's combo is easier to hit with how wide the Blizzard Avalanche is. I don't see any Lowlands do Veil, but if they did do Veil and like Gleam, they might be up in a tier. But I don't really see any Alolan's go Veil, so this character's no problem. Blastoise, most of them go Surf, Hydro Pump. If they go Spin, it can be annoying, especially when if they get to like level 13, where they get massive defense boost when they're spinning. They can kind of just spin you down. But I don't really see that very much, so they're going to be here in the tier list. Just dodge the Surf, if possible. I mean, if they ult and then, Surf combo you into Hydro Pump, you're dead. But that's just how it goes. Blastoise can do that to a couple ADCs, so. Cinder. This character will be here for the most part, but can be an extremely annoying depending on the moveset. Now, I've been seeing Blaze Kick, Flame Charge, and that's the moveset I've been seeing for a while. Pyro Ball sometimes, but the mobility you get from Blaze Kick, Flame Charge, basically solidifies her having that moveset, right? You don't really see Feint. If she goes Feint, she's up here. You cannot win a static 1v1 even if you're under tower. She will out-crit you and win. Feint will make you miss, or make you basically not get like 3 autos, and you'll die. But with the moveset we're considering, Flame Charge, Blaze Kick, you can actually equally trade. I've traded at like level 13, 14 with Cinderaces, no unites, just straight up fighting, and we kill each other. That's happened a lot, actually. So I think this kind of goes either way. Weirdly enough, Decidueye just outputs more raw damage than Cinder. Cinder has some mobility, though. And again, if they go Feint, they're the highest on the tier list, probably, because you just cannot win. Now, annoying Blissey because of Safeguard, Helping Hand. Maybe I should have thought about this. This is like a static environment. It's a 1v1, probably free XP, but we're going to consider this one just having a team, giving Safeguard, heals to anybody. Really annoying character, especially when they ult someone, so with how big the shields are, you're not stealing off of anything, and you're going to die before you break the shield to start getting life back. Serena, don't really have to say anything. Just a different flavor of Lucario, green Lucario. Grassy Glide, Drop Kick, both of those are annoying. Grassy Glide, Triple Axle is a moveset I'm going to consider. I guess that's the most moveset I've seen. Stomp's kind of falling out of favor again from what I've seen in competitive play. This kid just has too much mobility. She's going to get on top of you. Her Unite will half hit you. No problem. If she's like max attack weight, that'll do like 2/3 of your life. Not much you can do about that. Crustle, I think, is annoying. Extremely annoying. What do I have to say? He just runs up to your goal, scores, and runs away. You can out-damage him in lots of situations, but if they go X-Scissor, Shell Smash, you'll probably lose in a lot of 1v1s against a competent Crustle. Their ult, revenge damage, you basically can't touch them or else you'll kill yourself with how the revenge damage works for Crustle. Your life bar will just disintegrate faster than his. Greninja, what do I have to say? Smoke Screen, Surf, or the Water Shuriken. Both pretty annoying. Without Desi, he's always attacking. He's kind of sitting still between autos, you're not really, and then Greninja will be on top of you for the melee damage, so you're not really getting your passive off. Greninja ult as well is just better. So he'll probably win more 1v1s. I've had more trouble with Greninja than Cinderace with how Greninja works. Surf execute, smoke screen, you can't hit him. Kind of like feint, but you know, you get how that goes. Greninja can smoke screen and just get on top of you and then just beat you down before you can really say anything. Sylveon, very annoying. Hyper Voice, Mystical Fire, either way. This character is great. I think this character is higher in the tier list than what people think. She actually has a lot of great tools in her kit. And not much disadvantages, honestly. But that's, again, this is my opinion on this character. Mystical Fire is probably her best setup versus Desi. Because Hyper Voice, I don't know. It's just too hard to aim and you can just sidestep it lots of the times. Even without mobility, you can kind of sidestep this Sylveon's Mystical Voice. But, Mystical Voice, Mystical Fire. Mamoswine, his CC will absolutely destroy you. I've lost 1v1s to Mamos just because I can't, like, I'll have my stacks up, I'll start fighting them. Even, like, under tower, they'll CC me for so long that I lose all my stacks and I lose all my damage potential. And then my Razor Leaf expires and then I'm basically dead. This character is so annoying to fight. Not extremely annoying. We'll get there, we'll get there. Gengar. Gengar will just one-shot you with the sleep set. If he hits it, you're dead. If he misses it, he's dead. But his range is a little bit better than yours in terms of how far Hex goes. Sorry, not Hex. 3 meter. So I think he wins overall, but again, if he misses, he's probably going to die depending on where he's spacing. Aegislash, amazing mobility. Will crit you to death. Will win the fights. Sometimes an Aegislash, if they're not, you know, he's a new character, so I've only seen a couple good Aegislashes, but for the most part, they're just they're kind of there. But I fought a couple really good ones, and I felt like there was nothing I could do against the character. But those players who are up here, and the players who bring them down, I kind of average it out to annoying. Shadow Claw crits, or Sacred Sword, just giving him big attack boosts. Either way, he's got some good tools in his kit to kind of beat your ass down. Gardevoir, whichever moveset she goes, could be any combination of the 4 abilities. If she hits them, you're dead. You don't have special defense, you're just gonna die. If she whiffs, well, you can win. Kind of same as Gengar. But that's about all that I have to say about this. It's just the same as, it's just a green Gengar, I guess. Charizard. I put him in extremely annoying because with his buffs, his range increased to how far he can ult somebody. And you don't have any unstoppables in your kit to really try and outplay his ult. And he'll kind of win most fights just because of his ult damage. I have had situations where I'd be sitting under a tower, and my raw damage would actually out-heal his damage, because he also heals off of damage done. So you're kind of just healing off each other back and forth. But other than that, I don't know. He's kind of there too. When he always has Unite, so he's always going to be a threat no matter what. He's kind of a threat to anyone in the cast, really. Pikachu. Similar to Charizard, always has Unite, high burst damage. Your character hates burst damage. That's about it. He'll usually kill you before you can really start to lifesteal, and most of them go Buddy Bear, so you can't start lifestealing until you break the shield, and you're probably dead before you break the shield just because of the burst damage. You kind of got to get someone else on a team to annoy the Pikachu or CC him, and then you can go in and try to kill him before he unites. That's the happy goal, the happy ending. Wigglytuff. I should really move her all the way over here, but when Cute Charm is down, her passive, which pulls you to her, she's not much of a threat. But when Cute Charm is up, You get pulled just because you're Razor Leaf autoing like a Cinderace or something. You get pulled, sung, slapped, stared at with Gleam. She does so much damage to you. I think she can win the 1v1 trade. It's just so annoying to fight her. Like sleep into Cute Charm into sleep into slow smoke. This character kind of has it all. And massive defense to boast with good HP bulk. Very good EV trained, Wigglytuff for sure. Slowbro, Surf, Telekinesis or Amnesia, either way, they both kind of go against what you want to do, lifesteal, because you're going to be CC'd and not much you could do about it. You got to hold that. Slowbro does good damage too. People don't really talk about his damage, but Surf, while autoing with Muscle Band into like whatever the hell else he does, you can die to a Slowbro in a 1v1. If they do Surf, like say the level 11, right, and you're level 13, they can Surf, auto you while the Surf is going on, and then ult you, and I think you're actually dead. I'm pretty sure you're dead to that combo with how little bulk that he has, but we'll move on from there. Greedent, what a bastard. What a bastard he is. Bullet Seed, don't really have to say anything else about that. Bullet Seed, big mobility, runs you down. He can catch you off guard at lots of times. He'll be taking your jungle if you're jungling. Nobody likes to see that. I'm gonna move on from there. Lucario. With how many... He gets so many shields. He gets so much lifesteal. You don't have mobility. Slow smoke, close combat. Disgusting. Power up punch into everything else. Even E-speed, with how little health you have. E-speed, bone rush E-speed, kills you probably. Disgusting character. His ult's not very good, but in certain situations, like slow smoke, ult is actually makes it do a lot of damage. So we'll stop it there. Everyone knows Lucario. Top 5 in a game easily, top 3 maybe even. Aurora, Wild Charge, Spark, hate it. Can't get away from it. You can't auto him because he's in Wild Charge. You'll die. You die in one Wild Charge. I hate this character. A good Zeraora will try to always find you in the fight and will Wild Charge, and you have no say in the matter. Talonflame, Brave Bird, or Fly. Either way, you're probably gonna die. you have no say in the matter. And then Talonflame will always have ult up, because how low the ult cooldown is, kind of like Pikachu and Charizard. So they can always buddy barrier themselves and then just keep comboing you down. Even auto, they can even win like an auto battle with like either set with ult, so it kind of sucks. The best way to outplay a Talon is to react to the ult with your ult, so that way you don't get pushed, and then you have a little bit of space. Like say, that's about it. But what can you do? Absol, you hate Absol. Kills you early, without any questions asked. Kind of shuts down anything you can do. His crits will be like from 1.5k to 3k during the game, between that range, and that's basically your entire health bar. So you really hate to go against an Absol that can get behind you and hit you once. But, and his ult also makes him invincible, so you can't hit him during it. So if he has it positioned well, to where you're in front of him, you'll get hit by a lot of it and probably die just an ult on its own. So that sucks. Eldegoss. I might hate Eldegoss more than Wigglytuff. Leaf Tornado Plus. I just want to show everybody real quick how stupid this is. Leaf Tornado. Ignore this part. That's fine. Level 11, the plus. Enemies hit by a tornado will miss all of their basic attacks for 2.5 seconds. 2.5 seconds? Cinderace hates it, Decidueye hates it, Greninja hates it. Anyone who's an auto attacker hates Eldegoss. You get hit by that, that's 2.5 seconds of a fight that you're not going to be participating in. That sucks. That's so much time that you're just not doing anything. Razor Leaf is active, I think, for like 6 seconds or so. So that just wastes so much of your Razor Leaf time where you're actually a character. I hate this. I hate this little puffball. And then the alt as well, just healing people and giving shields. You hate it. You hate this character. You can't lifesteal off shields. You hate anyone with a shield. These characters don't really have shields. Trevenant does, but the rest of Trevenant sucks, so. We're going to end it off with Venusaur. Venusaur will pretty much win. Even without ult, Venusaur just will lifesteal off of you too. He'll stay right on top of you. His Vine Whips he'll whip you. You won't be able to do anything. Pedal Dance makes him faster than you. He's way too bulky. He's just got too much in his kit. That just makes him so annoying to go against. Absol can like one-shot you, but you can kind of kill Absol if, you know, he gets CC'd once by somebody. Talonflame, same thing. He gets CC'd like once or twice for a CC chain that he's dead. Zoroark too, like, some of these characters, they can be CC'd and you can kill them quicker before they can kill you. But Venusaur, it's kind of hard to kill a Venusaur as quickly as a lot of these other characters that you hate to fight, like Greninja, Sylveon. Well, Sylveon kind of is a little bulky, but Gengar, not very bulky. Gardevoir, kind of a little bulky. Bulkier than, I think, Talonflame. But you hate this character. So, overall, where would I place Decidueye in a tier list? What do I think about this character? I think he's A tier. I think he's with where Cinderace used to be. Cinderace has kind of gone between like A and S. Greninja's he's kind of rising up. I think Decidueye is A tier. With how the meta plays and how lots of fights end in like the center, where everybody's ulting each other, you can usually find a spot to get a good ult off and hit and kill 2 people. I've done some testing on his damage with ult, and with my build, x-atk, muscle, scope, attack weight, level 15, passive, x-atk, you'll do like 22,000 damage with your ult. Yes, that's assuming you hit everything, but with how much CC there is in a game, and how much like people are like slapping each other at melee range, you'll usually get a pretty big ult off. It's not very hard to sit in like one of these bushes and get an ult off when like a fight going on here if you guys can't get in, or a little bit further in to Zapdos area. Don't have a picture of it, but actually this is perfect. My favorite spot when playing the game is right here. This bush is my saving grace, because a fight will usually, if you're like a 5-stack, you want to be like here. You want to hit the Zapdos to force them to come in from wherever they're coming in, and you want to reveal yourself only when the fight has actually started. Like people are popping unites. Then you're gonna unite from here and just kind of get like a good angle from here. If they're coming up from here, and your team could follow up and get some CC, and then you can start hitting them from here. The worst enemy would be someone using the jump pad to here. But that, I've never seen anybody do that to look for the Decidueye from playing so far. Other than that, I definitely like just straight on as well from about the very start of here. You get a nice max range damage on Zapdos, or whoever's attacking here, but ideally you want to be in the bottom left bush right next to the Audino here, below the core fish. Alright, that's it for my guide. I did kind of ramble on about some things, but hopefully it was detailed enough to get people informed on the character. GG's and good luck playing Decidueye.